Well, hey, there you are, Sonia here. Welcome to Sonia's Sermonettes. Well, I got a subject I've been thinking about, talking a little bit about it. Maybe it won't be too long of a video here. But have you ever thought about what the Apostle Paul actually was getting across to us when he said this? When I would do good, evil was ever present. Now, a lot of people giving a lot of interpretations of the scriptures. But have you thought of it like this? Every time it seems, if I do something good, something that is of a benefit or edification to someone or some group or whatever, that I have to go through something as a trial or a test afterwards. Each time you give a message, you go through some sort of a testing of it. And have you wondered if possibly the Apostle Paul was actually referring to something to that effect? That every time I do something good toward humanity, toward the work of God, or just being kind or good to people, that then here comes opposition, here comes a testing time, a time to try you, to see. You can give a message and all of a sudden, things start popping all around you. And you wonder, well, what in the world is going on? All I've done was I worked for the Lord. It isn't as if I'm doing anything badly or wrong. I'm just simply doing something for the work of God and for the family of God, for the children of God. And then you're going through persecution, maybe not in a drastic manner. You're going through something, and you ask yourself, what in the world is going on here? Why is this happening? Well, I've thought a lot about it. I do quite a bit of thinking about things before I speak about them, because I want to make sure that I have tuned into the Spirit of the Lord and give out as much as I can possibly have the knowledge of doing so. I've thought quite a bit about it. And I've talked to people about this before, that if for some reason you do some sort of a good works for someone or even yourself, that a test comes along. And why is that? Your faith is going to be tried. Talks about it being tried by fire. But I also look at it this way. If possibly you've done something really that is the will of God and God's pleased with it, it's almost as if it's a confirmation when the opposition comes afterwards, when the testing comes afterwards, when all these horrendous things that can happen to a person that, like, just upsettingly so, it is a confirmation. Hey, you know what? I believe we tuned in to what the Spirit of God wanted done. And there seems to be a price to pay, doesn't there? Well, you say, have you got any other scriptures that go along with that? Think about Jesus when he was in the wilderness, praying, fasting. What came along? Something came along, didn't it? Started tempting him of every kind of thing. The enemy came along, offered him things to eat. He didn't even have to give. The Lord already had it all at any access at any time. But he was being tested, wasn't it, prior to what he had ahead of him. And he told him to get behind him, didn't he? So when these things come against you and you're doing your best, the Bible tells us that we will be judged by our works. Now, not justified by our works. Let's not get that misconstrued. We will be tried by our works. And we have to ask ourselves, Lord, what good works did I do for your children? What good works did I do for the kingdom of God? And did you ask the Lord, what can we do for the kingdom of God today? What would you like for us to do? Oh, Lord, what would you like for us to do for the kingdom of God today? Is there someone we can reach out to? Is there some message someone needs? Is there just a word of encouragement or just a kindness? Just to reach out your hand to someone and help them, encourage them, be a support. And yes, the test will come. But remember, just think of it like this. That's a confirmation. I must have upset some old evil thing. Because like Paul said, when I would do good, evil was ever present. A lot of people like to say, well, but he's just tempted. Doesn't really say that. It just says it was present. Made itself obvious. You think you're doing so good? You think you got a good message, do you? You think you're doing somebody some help? Here we go with the testing. Just chalk it up and thank God. At least I'm doing something for the work of the Lord. Be encouraged, dear friends, and continue on working for God and showing kindness and loving one another. Show someone some kindness today and some love. And so, dear friends, until next time.